So, good morning. It is Monday morning. I am running up to Dawson to get my parts for my hammer mill. They phoned this morning, parts were in. We have two parts stores, basically the same distance away from each other. One is across the border into BC and Dawson Creek, and one is at Grand Prairie. We live basically right in the middle. So when I was on the internet ordering these parts, Case New Holland had they've updated their parts store, so it actually is they did quite a good job, really. So I selected all the boxes of all the parts that I wanted, and then I clicked add to cart, and it just showed up right away in basically two blocks. The first block said available today in Dawson Creek, and the next block said available today in Grand Prairie. The ones in Grand Prairie were parts I didn't even need. I just wanted to check availability and price. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a no-brainer. I'll just go to Dawson Creek and get them. So this was Thursday night that I ordered them. They had an option to send the list to your dealer, so I clicked that. I'd never done this before, so I clicked that. And the next morning they got a hold of me, and they're like, oh, yeah, we got all but 3 parts. And I was like, oh, that's weird. The website said you had all of them. And then she explained, so yeah, it's not 100% yet. That just means we can get them. And I was like, oh, okay, well, no big deal. Let's get them ordered up, because they had most of everything anyways. And she said, yeah, you bet. We'll get them ordered up here. That would have been Friday morning that I talked to her. She said, right, obviously we can't get them here today, so it'll be Monday, Tuesday. So they just phoned this morning at 8 o'clock, said, yeah, your parts are in. So I'm gonna run up there. Anyways, the whole story there is that's, I guess, why we ended up in Dawson, is because the internet lied to me. So if the internet can lie to a farmer about the availability of parts, imagine what they could lie to the general public about. Food for thought. All right, so I just got up here. I got my parts. They got them all. They're actually double what I thought it was going to be. It was like $230, but can't run without it. Anyways, I got my bag full of masks here, and of course, due to the fact that on the farm, we're basically fortunate enough to not need to go out all the time. Like I don't need to go to town every day. Like today was, I don't know, probably the first time I'd been to town in a couple weeks anyways. And so there was no point in me, like, I've been watching, like, because there's been commercials and stuff on that Facebook news feed and stuff like that. Like people like making designer masks and things, right? But I get it. I get it why you would want to have a better quality mask if you were gonna need to be out all the time, because holy man, I just tried to put on, I went through 3 of these new masks just trying to get one to go around my fat head, because I kept breaking those little straps. And good thing I had them, because apparently it's mandatory. This guy's bins blew over and landed on his header, so that sucks. Okay, so it does look like I got all the parts. This is the shaft and the gear and everything out of this one side. I'm gonna take this other side apart first, do it, and then put that other one in. So. I'm not gonna camera you.
I will come apart.
You'll fly apart? I'm not sure where the end of this is, buddy. Like they put a glue on here. Hard glue. I think it's just a hubcap cover. Well, we don't want to break it, right? All right, so I got that cover off, that hubcap cover, just a bolt. That's mostly how these things all. They got a castle nut pin to hold them in, so because you don't ever want to get them too tight, you don't want to squish the bearing. And so yeah, I'm assuming you just once you blow this off, it'll just push straight through that way, and we'll be able to change all the bearings. All right, so one fortunate thing about gearboxes, due to the fact that they're always full of oil, and as long as they're working properly, everything's oiled, generally stuff isn't stiff in there. Okay, so I got everything cleaned up. The vertical shaft, the horizontal shaft, the gearbox itself. There's this, that's just a big spacer. I got that out. Cleaned up all the spots for the bearings where they sit in. So when I'm cleaning up all this stuff, I just use gas. There's all sorts of solvents and Varsol and stuff like that. I suppose if you weren't, if you didn't have to do the whole thing and you were gonna leave one seal in or something, maybe gas wouldn't be good for the rubber. I don't know. Maybe that's why. But gas does a really, really good job. So I just have a big, or I'll use oil. Anyways, a catch pan or whatever, and I'll set the whole part in there and dump a bunch of clean gas over top, grab a paintbrush. You got to get that all clean because this hubcap part, the bottom of this sits in the bottom of the gearbox. It was right full of steel shavings. That bearing that had completely exploded, so all the rollers and everything were all in the gearbox. When you have a failure like we had where there's that much damage, you have to clean that all up. It's not just for like visual, it's not for aesthetics or whatever. You have to clean that up. You have to get all that steel out of there. If you don't, you're basically just setting yourself up for a quick failure again. So that's the reason why that gets done, is to keep it is to get all of the steel out of there. So I'm going to grab a couple pieces of paper towel now, wipe them seats out and everything like that, and then I'm going to start reassembling it. All right, it's 5:30. The workbench is clean. No parts. Everything is installed back in the hammer mill. Gearbox is full of oil. Everything's tightened back up. So should be ready to run tomorrow. So to anybody that watched that repair, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all in the next one.